The healing waters of Lourdes. In the small town of Lourdes, nestled in the foothills of the Pyrenees in France, a powerful and miraculous story unfolds year after year. Since 1858, millions of pilgrims have visited Lourdes, seeking the healing waters of a spring discovered by a young girl named Bernadette Soubirous. For these pilgrims, the waters are not just a natural phenomenon, but a source of divine grace and healing, both physical and spiritual. It all began when Bernadette, a poor, sickly girl, saw a vision of the Blessed Virgin Mary in a cave near Lourdes. The lady, who identified herself as the Immaculate Conception, instructed Bernadette to drink from a spring that appeared miraculously at the site. Despite being initially mocked and misunderstood, Bernadette and Apos' unwavering faith led to the recognition of the waters, which soon became known for their remarkable healing powers. Since then, Lourdes has become one of the most famous pilgrimage sites in the world, attracting those in search of physical healing, comfort, and spiritual renewal. People from all walks of life travel to Lourdes, hoping for a cure from their ailments. But the experience offers something deeper than just the possibility of a miraculous recovery. The true gift of Lourdes lies in its message, a call to faith, to trust in God and Apos' mercy, and to recognize that healing, both in body and soul, is possible through God and Apos' grace. But what is it about Lourdes that makes it so special? Is it simply the waters, or is there a deeper spiritual significance to the place? The miracles of Lourdes have not only transformed lives, but continue to inspire millions, reminding us that faith can move mountains and that God and Apos' mercy is abundant and ever-present. The story of Bernadette and the vision of Mary. The story of Lourdes begins with Bernadette Soubirous, a young girl from a poor family, living in the small town of Lourdes in 1858. Bernadette was frail and often ill, suffering from asthma and other health problems. Her family lived in poverty, and she was not highly regarded in her community. Yet, it was in this humble circumstance that she became the vessel of a divine message that would forever change the world. On February 11, 1858, while collecting firewood near a grotto at the edge of the town, Bernadette had her first vision. A lady in white appeared to her in the cave, standing above a rose bush, with golden roses on her feet. The woman spoke to Bernadette, and in the following days, their conversations continued. Bernadette soon realized that this was no ordinary apparition. The lady identified herself as the Immaculate Conception, a title that was then not widely known or understood by the people of Lourdes, and which Bernadette herself did not initially comprehend. Though Bernadette's visions were met with skepticism, the lady's instructions were clear. She asked Bernadette to dig in the ground at the grotto, where a spring of water miraculously appeared. Mary instructed Bernadette to drink the water and wash in it. At first, others doubted her, and even Bernadette herself was uncertain. But the water, though muddy at first, began to clear, and people began to experience miraculous healings after drinking it or bathing in it. Word of these events spread quickly, and Lourdes began to attract people from all over, each hoping for their own healing. Despite the local authorities dismissing Bernadette as mentally disturbed and accusing her of being a liar, her story never wavered. Bernadette remained faithful to the message she received and even endured harsh treatment from the authorities and public. Eventually, her visions were declared authentic by the church, and the place where she had seen Mary was designated a site of pilgrimage. The healing waters of Lourdes became the center of attention, but Bernadette's unwavering faith in the message she received, even in the face of harsh criticism, became the true foundation of the miracle. Her simplicity, humility, and unshakable belief in the vision of the Immaculate Conception marked the beginning of what would become one of the most powerful sources of spiritual healing and hope in the world. The miracles at Lourdes, healing and transformation. Since the spring at Lourdes was revealed through Bernadette's visions, it has become the site of countless miraculous healings and transformative experiences. The waters of Lourdes are not only famous for their miraculous ability to cure physical ailments, but they also hold a deeper spiritual significance, offering emotional and psychological healing to those who come in faith. The first recorded healing occurred in 1858, just a few months after the spring appeared, when a woman named Jean Massabielle claimed to be cured of a severe illness after bathing in the waters. As word spread, more pilgrims came to Lourdes in search of healing, and many reported experiencing instantaneous recoveries from conditions that had previously been deemed incurable. From physical diseases such as tuberculosis and paralysis to mental and emotional afflictions, the miracles were diverse, but they shared a common thread: the unwavering faith of the pilgrims and the intercession of the Virgin Mary. By the late 19th century, the Church had established procedures to verify the authenticity of these miracles. Medical experts were asked to thoroughly examine the cases and confirm that the healings were indeed inexplicable by medical science. The Lourdes Medical Bureau was founded in 1883 to oversee the process, and to this day, 67 miracles have been officially recognized by the Church. This number is far smaller than the thousands of reported cases of healings, but each recognized miracle represents an undeniable event of divine intervention, often accompanied by deep spiritual transformation in the lives of those healed. These healings are not always physical. Many pilgrims report profound spiritual experiences as well. In Lourdes, people not only experience physical restoration, but also an encounter with the divine. They leave with a sense of peace, renewed faith, and a deeper connection to God. The waters of Lourdes have come to symbolize spiritual cleansing, offering pilgrims a tangible experience of God's grace, mercy, and healing love. While the miraculous healings at Lourdes continue to be a source of awe and wonder, it is important to note that Lourdes is not only a place for physical restoration. Pilgrims come to Lourdes not only to be healed, but to experience a profound spiritual renewal. It is a place where people, no matter their ailment, can reconnect with God, renew their faith, and experience God and Apos' mercy in ways that transform their hearts and lives. The healing waters of Lourdes remind us that God's love is greater than any earthly suffering, and His mercy is available to all who approach Him with faith and humility. The miracles at Lourdes call us to open our hearts to God's grace, to believe in His ability to heal, and to trust in the power of divine mercy. Faith and doubt in the miracles of Lourdes. Despite the many reported miracles at Lourdes, the phenomenon has not been without skepticism. Doubt and criticism have followed the Lourdes apparitions since their beginning. Even today, as thousands of pilgrims continue to visit the site, the question remains: are the healings at Lourdes truly miraculous, or are they simply the result of coincidence, psychology, or the power of suggestion? One of the most significant challenges in recognizing the authenticity of the miracles at Lourdes is the fact that faith plays a pivotal role in the experience of healing. For many, the belief in the power of the waters is intertwined with their deep trust in God and in the intercession of the Virgin Mary. While some argue that the placebo effect, the power of the mind to heal the body through belief alone, could explain many of the healings, the Church has consistently upheld that the miraculous nature of the healings at Lourdes cannot be explained solely by psychological or natural means. The rigorous medical verification process employed by the Lourdes Medical Bureau, which includes interviews with patients and careful examination of their conditions, has led to the official recognition of certain healings as inexplicable by science. Nonetheless, many still question whether these miracles are truly divine or merely coincidental. For those who visit Lourdes seeking physical healing, the skepticism can be disheartening. Not all who visit the shrine are healed, and not all healings are immediate. Some pilgrims leave Lourdes with their physical ailments unchanged, feeling as though their faith was not strong enough, or that God and Apos' grace was withheld from them. The unpredictable nature of divine intervention can create tension between the believer's hopes and the reality of their experience. Furthermore, the idea of God choosing to heal some but not others can raise theological questions. Why are some people healed, while others remain sick? Does God show partiality? These questions are not easily answered, but they reflect a deeper spiritual challenge: understanding the mystery of God's will. St. Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9, and quote, "But he said to me, and Apos, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness, and Apos," end quote. In times of suffering, the message of Lourdes, then, may not always be about physical healing, but about spiritual healing, the deepening of faith in God and Apos' presence even amid adversity. In a world that often seeks answers in materialism, Lourdes calls believers to a radical faith, trusting that God's mercy is at work even when the outcome is not what we expect. It reminds us that while God may not always choose to heal in the way we want or on the timeline we desire, His love and grace are constant. Lourdes teaches that faith is not solely about receiving the answers we want, but about trusting God in all circumstances and believing that His will is always for our ultimate good, even when we cannot fully understand it. The power of faith and the enduring message of Lourdes. Despite the doubts and the unanswered questions, the miracles of Lourdes continue to offer an undeniable source of spiritual renewal and profound healing for millions around the world. The waters of Lourdes, though simple and ordinary, have become a symbol of God's love and mercy that transcends human understanding. While some seek physical healing, others find that the most profound transformation happens within, the healing of the soul, the deepening of faith, and a renewed relationship with God. For many pilgrims, the true miracle of Lourdes lies in the experience itself. The act of pilgrimage, the journey to Lourdes, the waiting, the praying, and the deep communion with God, becomes a path of spiritual healing. Even if physical healing does not occur, pilgrims often leave with a sense of peace, comfort, and a strengthened trust in God's providence. Lourdes serves as a place where faith is deepened and where believers are reminded that God is present in our suffering and pain, offering comfort and strength even when the answers seem unclear. The miracles at Lourdes invite us into a deeper relationship with God, calling us to trust not only in the healing of our bodies, but in the healing of our hearts and souls. Through the act of coming to Lourdes, pilgrims are reminded that God's mercy is unfathomable and free to all, not based on merit, but on love. Lourdes is a place where people are invited to surrender their burdens to God and place their trust in His infinite mercy. Perhaps the greatest miracle of Lourdes is the transformation it brings to the lives of those who visit. It calls them to a life of renewed faith and a deeper sense of gratitude for God's grace, regardless of the outcome of their physical requests. The healing waters serve as a reminder that God and Apos' love is always with us, whether or not our physical suffering is alleviated. As Pope John Paul II said during his visit to Lourdes in 1983, and quote, "Lourdes is a place where faith is rekindled, where people experience the love of God in a concrete way." End quote. The healing at Lourdes, then, is not just about the physical, but about a transformation that touches the very depths of the soul. Faith, trust, and God's love shine through the waters of Lourdes, drawing people closer to Him and offering a glimpse of His eternal grace. The message of Lourdes remains clear. God's mercy and love are abundant, and all who come in faith will receive His grace, whether in the form of physical healing or spiritual renewal. Lourdes today, a place of pilgrimage and reflection. The message of Lourdes continues to resonate deeply in the hearts of millions today, as it has for over 160 years. It has become not just a place of physical healing, but a spiritual oasis, a place where people from all walks of life come seeking more than just relief from physical suffering. Lourdes stands as a profound symbol of hope, faith, and divine mercy. In an increasingly secular world, it reminds us that God's love and grace are always available to those who come with an open heart. Each year, thousands of pilgrims make the journey to Lourdes, traveling from all over the world, hoping for healing, spiritual renewal, or simply to deepen their relationship with God. The town itself is alive with faith, with people praying at the grotto, taking part in processions, and gathering in moments of prayer and reflection. The Basilica of Our Lady of Lourdes, the Grotto of Massabielle, and the surrounding grounds remain places of deep reverence and peace. Here, visitors are reminded that God and Apos' mercy is unlimited and can touch anyone, no matter their circumstances or past. In addition to its religious significance, Lourdes also serves as a place of inspiration for the Church and society at large. The lives of those who have been healed at Lourdes, both physically and spiritually, testify to the incredible power of faith and God's will. Lourdes, with its legacy of miraculous healings and spiritual transformations, encourages all believers to live in trust and humility, surrendering to God's plan for them. Ultimately, Lourdes is not just about the past or the miracles. It is about living the message of faith in the present and carrying the experience of God's grace into the future. For those who have experienced the healing power of Lourdes, it remains a place of unshakable faith and hope, and its message endures, that through faith in God, all things are possible. A call to faith. As we reflect on the miracles of Lourdes, we are left with a powerful spiritual question: what is God calling us to in our own lives through the message of Lourdes? The miracles of Lourdes remind us that God's mercy knows no bounds and that He is always with us, even in our times of suffering. The waters of Lourdes symbolize God's healing love and His invitation to trust in His grace, no matter our trials. For those who come in faith, Lourdes offers more than physical healing. It offers spiritual renewal and an opportunity to draw closer to God. The message of Lourdes invites us to reflect on our own lives and ask, will we trust in God's mercy? Will we approach Him with hearts full of faith, knowing that His love can heal not just our bodies, but our hearts and souls as well? Lourdes calls us to a deeper relationship with God, one built on trust, surrender, and faith in His divine providence. Jesus, I trust in you. These simple words, often prayed by pilgrims, encapsulate the essence of the message of Lourdes, a call to place our lives in God's hands, trusting that His mercy will guide us, heal us, and transform us into instruments of His love.